way to share um, paper, budget friendly sketchbook options that I have incorporated into my mixed media kit, and just some of the things that I have attempted to consider over this time. And so I pulled out all of my sketchbooks. They're sitting over here. Y'all can't see them right now. And made a little list, okay, to just share with you all what I have tried roughly since November, December 2024, related to sketchbooks. And I thought that this might be helpful to frame for some other mixed media artists that started out there. So, hey, my name is Sequoia. I use she and her pronouns. I am a mixed media artist. I'm also a therapist. But I started this series roughly about 7 days ago. So there are seven other videos that you should definitely check out in this mixed media series. And I am sharing with y'all what I have incorporated into my creative practice, like I said, since about roughly November, December of 2024. I started back to my creative practice during the top of the pandemic, so 2020, but more recently, have been dedicated to a sketchbook practice. And so, just like I said, I wanted to share, what's been coming up for me. So, we are going to start with one of the first sketchbooks that I have bought for myself. And this is a Ohuhu mixed media sketchbook. And Ohuhu, they are relatively more known for their markers, but they also have some paper options. And they do have like marker pads, but I don't like marker paper. So I wanted to try their mixed media sketchbook, and I actually really like it. I love the hardcover. It has this band on it, to keep it closed just in case it will become chunky. I'm not gonna do like a sketchbook tour or anything, but I love this sketchbook because it has so many pages, and the paper in it is actually really, really good. So this is 10 by 7. It has 78 sheets in it. It's 120 pounds, 200 GSM, and the 10 by 7 is 27.99. So the downside to this particular sketchbook is that you can only purchase it online, right? So that's something to keep in mind related to your creative practice, that you'll probably have to, just purchase a few if you decide that you like the paper clearly. But you may have to purchase a few so that you don't not have a sketchbook at a particular time. You can't, at least locally for me, I haven't seen Ohuhu sketchbooks anywhere in any of my local stores. So that's the only thing to consider. And so, like I said, I like hardcover, so that is something else that I started to explore with my sketchbooks. So, yeah, something else to consider. Okay, so let's move on to the next one because I want to make sure that I get to all of them. Okay, the next one are is my Canson set of sketchbooks. So this is a Canson graduate sketchbook, and it's a mixed media sketchbook. And this one is a 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the inside. Like I said, the Canson graduate. And this is more of a student grade sketchbook, but I really like the paper in the Canson graduate. I also like the cover of this one. So again, another hardcover. It has the band around it, so when it gets chunky, you can close it. And then, like I said, this is Canson Graduate. It's the 5.5 by 8.5. It's 123 pounds, 200 GSM, 32 sheets of paper, and you can roughly get this one for like $10.56. So another tip related to oh, thank you, I appreciate that. um One of the things again to think through about what sketchbooks that you like, not only like do you like a hardcover, but also the size. So you're going to see a varied range of sizes for my sketchbooks too. So that's also something that you want to play around with when you are looking for a sketchbook. Try a different size. Okay. All right. So my next Canson sketchbook is this one. Um, Same paper, but this is like just from the regular Canson line. It's the mixed media sketchbook, and this one clearly has like the spirals at the top, right? Again, trying something out. I usually do not like a spiral bound sketchbook just because of the spirals. I don't like them getting caught up on things. So again, we're talking about me searching through like what my preferences are for a sketchbook, but again, hardcover, right? So this one is the Canson Mixed Media Spiral. It's 5.5 by 8.5, 138 pounds, 224 GSM, 40 sheets in it. And then you can find this one for like $16.49. Like I said, I'm not gonna do like sketchbook tour, but I really like I really like this sketchbook, and I think it was because of the size. I really like the 5.5 by 8.5 size, but I don't like. I know for sure that I don't like the spirals. Okay, so again, another option, another kind of format for the Canson mixed media. Okay. And then this is my third. I really like sketchbooks with spirals. Yeah, yeah, we all have our different preferences. And like I said, I have a few sketchbooks that do have spirals in them, but I just know now that I don't like it. And that's the kind of journey of experimenting with things. Yeah. So, okay, so this one is the Canson Mixed Media Sketchbook hardcover with the spirals, right? And this one is the 7 by 10. Now, this one is a little bit different because it has 72 sheets in it. I looked for this sketchbook and I couldn't find one with 72 sheets. So, you'll find, if you're interested in this, you'll find the Canson with the 60 sheets. And those roughly go for about $14.45. This is 98 pounds, 160 GSM, with, I think I said 7 by 10 already. The one thing that's good about Canson is that you can find this basically anywhere. This brand you can find in Walmart, you can find it in Target, clearly your local like art stores and everything. But this one, I would say Canson brand is relatively more accessible in that, like I said, you can go to like a big box store, if you're supporting big box stores, and get a Canson sketchbook, or otherwise, clearly you can get them online. Okay. Okay, we're doing good, y'all. We're doing good. Okay. This is a little baby one. So this is a different brand. This is the Arteza brand, and Arteza is relatively known for their art supplies, but clearly they have some paper options. So what attracted me to this sketchbook is, at one time I bought it as a 3 pack, and I can't, when I was looking this morning for the price of a 3 pack, I couldn't find them that look like this, the hardcover in a 3 pack anymore. So, I don't have the price for this one, but it's the cold pressed watercolor paper. This is not mixed media paper. It's a hardcover. It's 5.5 by 3.5, 110 pounds, 230 GSM with 80 sheets in it. And I really like this one. It's really cute. It's portable in the sense that I could throw it in any bag. The only thing that I don't like about this is the paper. So in me exploring sketchbooks, the one thing that I am for sure about is that I prefer mixed media paper as opposed to watercolor paper. Watercolor paper does not work well specifically for color pencils. And for me, let me say it like that. Watercolor paper does not work well for me with my color pencils. The other mediums that I use, like markers, clearly like watercolor, um, markers, I think I said markers already. All of those go down fine on watercolor paper, but color pencils, the paper is too rough. So I usually steer away from watercolor paper now and only focus on mixed media. I have a spiral hardcover, 80 pages. Okay, cool. Yeah. I really, really love mixed media paper and I like to try the different brands. But I also just I like paper anyway. I could definitely nerd out and talk about it for hours. So okay. Arteza, we talked about this one. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, this has become a new favorite. Bee paper. BEE. Bee paper is really good paper. This one is the 6x6. So this is a new kind of size that I'm sharing with y'all. For the most part, the rest of my sketchbooks have been like 5.5 by 8.5 or larger than a 7x10. I really like the 6x6 format as well. It's really accessible. Yeah, I mean, I also have you said I used to just use a notebook. I have let me show you what I use. Hold on one second. There are times where um I'm probably not gonna even be able to find what I'm talking about. But I have used sketchbooks, used different things for sketchbooks as well. So like this Foreign Affairs magazine, right? Just a regular magazine. I absolutely use this as a sketchbook, right? I have those black and white composition books that you can get at the dollar store. I use those as sketchbooks as well, right? You can reinforce the paper in those black and white composition books or any kind of notebook, like notebook paper. You can reinforce it with other materials like even scraps from magazines like this. You can reinforce the paper behind it and it's fine. You can make layers on it. There's an artist on here. Her name is Soraya, Soraya, Soraya. She has a wonderful YouTube page where she talks about how she uses composition books in her art practice as well. So yeah, by any means, use what you have access to, until you can get something different if that's what you want. Um, so yeah, bead paper, the 6x6 is 93 pounds, 150 GSM, 60 sheets for $9.32. So this one you can find online and then in some local art stores you can find as well. I posted on my community tab. I have an 18 by 24 B paper pad of paper, and it's the rough surface newsprint. I absolutely love that paper. It is the best for sketching. The paper is actually very nice for it to be newsprint. So B paper is actually really good. I know a lot of larger content creators don't really talk about maybe some of these brands. Like I feel like I hear, especially with other like mixed media and sketchbook artists, like they usually talk about like Strathmore, they talk about Arches, they talk about Fabriano paper. But and those, I haven't tried Fabriano yet. I haven't tried Arches. I don't know if I will because those are super, super expensive papers. And I just feel like there are lots of really good options that are not those papers. So, and I really feel like B paper is one of those companies. Okay. Another one that I have, and I don't remember how much I paid for this. How do you use a magazine? I hope I answered your question about how I use a magazine. I can also just show it again. But this one I got at the Five Below store, and I hope I didn't pay over $5 for it. I don't actually know. But this was really good paper as well to be a sketchbook from Five Below. And it's one of those sketchbooks that has three different kinds of paper in it. It has a few sheets of drawing paper, a few sheets of mixed media paper, and then a few sheets of tracing paper. And let me tell you, these, even the drawing paper, it was pretty good. The mixed media paper was really good too. I would absolutely purchase this again. Um, Not if I go in Five Below because I'm definitely going back in Five Below. But it has really good paper for it to be a sketchbook from Five Below. So definitely check out a sketchbook that has like three different kinds of papers in it. Just try it, see, and see how it goes. Um, yeah, so that could also be an option. Check out your Five Below, see if they have any sketchbooks in the art aisle, and try it. I have never tried anything but a Canson. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Canson is really accessible. Like you can get Canson in any big box store. And you can run into it like even in like bookstores, like Lord have mercy. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to think of a bookstore, but one of these big bookstores, and you go in the art aisle or where they have sketchbooks, you'll find Canson. So it definitely makes sense that that's like the one that you've probably used the most, and you see it a lot in places. So yeah, that makes sense as well. This is another really good one that is super affordable. The Reflections brand. This is the 6x6. Again, I really like this size. This the B paper one is also 6x6. So I really, really like this size. And I finished this sketchbook a while ago. But so this paper though is 70 pound, 110 GSM. So this one is the lightest of all the papers. I would not call this paper mixed media paper. This is definitely like newsprint. They say on here that you can use light watercolor, but I would not wet this paper. I wouldn't wet it. But it's still really good paper to just do like some quick sketches on, Um and I found this at my local art store. Um and this size is $5.59. So this is another reason that I like this one. It's really affordable, and like I said, it has a hardcover, right? For it to be $5 and have a hardcover, have the band that closes it. and a little like place marker is really good. So I have like two backups. I have another 6x6 in reflections, and then I also got the 8.5 by 11 in this particular brand, and I think this one was $10. So yeah, those are my recommendations. I think I went through all of my tips. The only thing that I would just say again, try different ones to see what works best for your mediums. Um, I have the Canson XL mixed media pad that looks like this, that looks like this one in an 18 by 24 pad. And that comes in 30 sheets, and you can find those between like $24 to $32. But I prefer to buy the bigger pads of paper and then like cut my paper down. Um, yeah, again, for budget stuff, I go through paper a lot. And so if that sounds appealing to you related to making things a little bit more budget friendly, you might want to look into buying like I said, like the 18 by 24 pads of your favorite paper and then just cutting them down. Um, so okay. I feel like I went through I feel like I went through all of watercolor paper isn't that great for colored pencils. Try different sizes. Okay, I'm just making sure that I share with y'all everything that I wanted to share. I think that's pretty much it. Half price books. Yeah, like a bookstore like that. Yeah, like half price books. They usually will have like um Canson sketchbook papers, or you might even find like reflections in there too. Yeah. So I hope that that was helpful. These are the some of the papers that I have been trying out. In my community post, I mentioned that this is like my first paper video in this series. I do have like mid-budget options for paper, and then I also have a higher-ish budget paper options as well related to sketchbooks and then just loose papers, because again, on the, I would say, the higher end of sketchbook paper or just paper options are brands like Fabriano, Arches, that paper. I haven't tried that. For me, my higher-ish paper options are Strathmore and Karen Daashe. Um, and I know it's Karen Dash. I just there's an artist on here, and he says Karen Daashe, and I like that. So those are anyway. Let me stay focused. Those, when I say higher-ish budget paper options, like that's what I'm talking about, like more Strathmore and Karen Dash papers. And so yeah, I'll be back to do one on mid and higher-ish kind of options. And let me know in the comments um what y'all, your thoughts about this. If you've tried any of these, what size sketchbook, you know what size sketchbook do you use?